everyone, Morgan here. So today I'm going to be talking about a starter bug out bag. So before I dive into kind of the contents of it, whether you're new to prepping and you're thinking about a bug out bag, or whether you're thinking about making a bug out bag or emergency kit or bunch or go bag or whatever you call it, I wanted to explain a little bit about why someone might need one. There's lots of people that are like, well, I don't understand the point of a bug out bag, especially if I have no plans of ever leaving my home. Even I think if you don't have plans leaving your home, you should have some sort of bag ready to go. The reason I say that is because this bag will essentially have minimum 3 days, if not more, worth of food and supplies to get you through for those 3 days period. Now, an emergency or disaster lasts longer than 3 days usually, especially the recovery time. So whenever you're thinking about your bug out bag, you want to try to think about longer lasting sort of supplies. Like, how will this get me through longer than 3 days? But the minimum that I would start with is 3 days. Anyway, so I'm going to be talking about things that you can make this bag and essentially just put it in your closet. And, so if you're going to be making this bag for like a friend or something, or a family member or something like that, you can just give them the bag with instructions on how to use all this stuff in here. And they can just put it in their closet. If they never want to take it out again, that would be totally fine, because this system would be set up for that. Now, I highly encourage people to not do that, to, learn the supplies in your bag and, change out stuff, when it comes to your skill level. But some people don't want to do that. I am of the belief that it's better to have something than nothing, even if they just throw it in their closet. If something were to happen, they would most likely recall that they have that emergency kit, and they would grab it and use it. Thanks to you. So the very first thing you want to get is a bag. Now, you can get the bag and all this stuff that I'm about to say from like Walmart, for like $100 or less. And you don't have to get this exact stuff. I'm not going to name brand, nothing. You can get everything that you need from Walmart for $100 or less. So it's not super expensive. You don't have to get it all at the same time. You can do little by little, make a list of the stuff that you want to put in your bug out bag, and just get it, as time and money allows. I have a whole checklist down below at my website, free checklist, totally free. Just download it, get some ideas from it, but I'm going to be showing you some ideas here as well, just kind of for visual reference. So the bag, any kind of bag, I would suggest a backpack, just because it's nice and sturdy on your back. No need for, a sling bag, which will sling around and be kind of, willy-nilly all over the place. Messenger bag will do that too. But a nice backpack is just nice, straight on your back. You don't really have to worry about it too much. When it comes to water, we want to make sure that we actually have water in our bag. While we may be able to grab like water bottles and gallons and things like that as we're walking out the door, grabbing our bag and then grabbing our extra water and stuff, I would suggest trying to have some sort of water. You can have like the bagged water. If you live in a place that has water resources readily available to you, rivers, things that are just everywhere, abundant water everywhere, right? Then you may be able to just, collect and purify as you go, but you may not. It just kind of really depends on the situation. You may not have an opportunity to, collect water as you go. So I would always suggest just trying to have at least a little bit of water, at least enough water to rehydrate the food that you're bringing, if you're bringing Mountain House or something, which we'll talk about in a second. But some sort of water bottles, preferably the ones with the straws, is really helpful. You could have some sort of, water purification straw. There's lots of these on the market. A water collection bag. These are really nice because they fold up really small, super lightweight, very convenient. And there's some water filters, like the ones from Survivor Filter, that actually can attach to stuff like this. And so it's nice and convenient. And then there's pump ones from like Survivor Filter that you can actually pump like a large amount of water. Shelter is always going to be good if it's just for you. Like tarp system or some sort of 1 or 2 person tent is going to be really nice. If it's for a family, definitely some sort of tent, preferably a lightweight tent. But you also need stakes for this, some sort of tarp and stakes. This is seasonal, but bug spray and sunscreen never hurts to have in there. You never know. Some sort of external battery to charge your phone, plus the charging cable for your phone. Going to be super helpful. In a lot of emergencies and disasters, you can still try to text people, even if calling isn't working. Sometimes text will still go through. So having some sort of way to keep your phone charged, just in case to reach loved ones or whatever, helpful. Some sort of flashlight, light, something like that, and extra batteries. Let's make it simple with a lighter and some fire starters. Paracord. You don't have to have paracord, but I would suggest at least 100 feet. You can have any sort of cordage that you like. There's lots of different cordage. Paracord just happens to be, the cordage of choice in this community, but it's a solid choice for sure. First aid kit, buy one, make one, doesn't matter. Just have some sort of first aid kit. Map of your area, even map of surrounding states if you so choose. Super helpful, especially travel maps, road maps, all that kind of stuff. Hand sanitizer, really good for just quick, sanitization of your hands to save water or in case you don't have water around, hand sanitizer. Also good as a fire starter. Tape, good for maintenance purposes. Any kind of tape, Gorilla Tape, duct tape, whatever. A multi-tool is going to be really nice to have for a variety of reasons. Poncho could be an emergency shelter or an addition shelter. A poncho, keep you dry, just good to have. I always like to have at least one shamag around. There's so many good multi-purposes for this. I wear it even in the summer to collect sweat off my face or wherever, and I use it to wipe stuff off my child's face. I use it for so many different purposes. I would be lost without the shamag. When it comes to clothes, you want to keep it at a minimum. You probably won't be doing too many clothing changes. Extra pair of socks, an extra shirt, maybe some extra underwear, and that's pretty much it. Now, if it's in the winter, you will want to put more clothes, wool socks, that kind of thing, and just make sure that you are staying consistent with the weather in your area with the type of clothing that you have in your bug out bag. So some sort of cook pot, it doesn't have to be like this, just anything stainless steel. You could have just like a stainless steel bottle to like boil water in if you need. But any sort of cook pot, you could also have like the propane and the stove and stuff inside of it if you so choose. Food. When it comes to food, freeze-dried is good. Ready to eat bars are really good. Tuna packs. I've talked a lot about food, but food will all be personal preference. In fact, everything in the bug out bag is personal preference. Okay, so a knife. A knife is definitely helpful. You don't have to have a big old knife like I do, but this actually goes in my bunch. But you can have any sort of knife, but just a solid fixed blade knife is going to really come in handy. Sleeping bag, some sort of lightweight sleeping bag, or just really any sleeping bag, your whole sleeping system. So sleeping mat if you so choose, like an inflatable one, and an inflatable pillow if you so choose. Being comfortable will really make a difference, especially in a very stressful situation. And outside of that, you could have some sort of morale boosters like a journal or playing cards or, a book if you want. There's lots of different morale boosters like gum, whatever you want. But let's be real about this bag. This is your bag. This is nobody else's bag. What is in somebody else's bag is going to be completely different than what's in my bag. You just want to try to cover the basics of food, water, fire, shelter. Just cover those basics and you should be good. And get to know your supplies. And again, if this is a gift, just try to write out instructions on everything in it and then give it to them and then tell them about the instructions and such. Again, having something is better than nothing. Even if you want to gift a pre-made kit, You know, a lot of people shun the pre-made kits, but they do have a market for those people who just want something that they can, you know, put in a closet and, you know, just really only see and use when an emergency arises. I think the whole point is we just want to better prepare ourselves for emergencies and disasters. And however you have to do that, do it. You know, don't overcomplicate it. Don't overthink it. Just do it. Go grab a bag, go grab some stuff, any stuff that you have at home, just throw it in there. You know, don't overcomplicate it. Do not, you know, be like, well, where do I start? Just start. Start with the bag and then move from there. Go to this and that to that. Just start and just keep going. This bag is yours and nobody else's. You have to feel comfortable using it. So put stuff in it that you like, following your budget and your time allowed and all that sort of stuff. So, I hope this was helpful. Of course, I could talk and talk and talk about this subject, but I just wanted to be a real brief, you know, this is how I would lay out a starter bug out bag for yourself or for others. There's so much more that could be added, but it doesn't have to be added. Just do you. Thank you so much for watching. Come visit my website and download those checklists. I have a whole bunch of ebooks on my website. My website is a plethora of information, so go down there and check that out. And thank you all so much for watching Conquer Tomorrow by Preparing Today. Talk to you tomorrow. Bye.